So good morning, fearless females. This is a requested webinar and it got a lot of likes, a lot of hits about speaking out. And there's a few different ways people are coming at this. So I've had information from a few people, and I think we're going to be looking at the throat chakra for sure. That's been mentioned a couple of times. Now, I'm going to mention the throat chakra because that's been mentioned to me. I'm completely aware of chakras. I don't talk about them very much, but since it's been brought to my attention, we are going to see what's going on in the throat chakra. We've also had a couple of people that have mentioned that they speak out quite easily, one of which is Barbara down there, but also Loretta. And I'm going to read you what Loretta says and see who identifies with that. So she says, I believe that there are some times when I do normally speak out. And we all know Loretta, she speaks out very well. So you wouldn't think that she was shy. I believe that there are some times when I do normally speak out or say what I don't agree with, but the other times maybe it's to do with not wanting to upset or hurt other people's feelings. If I really don't want to deal with a problem or a person, I have a habit of avoiding something or them completely rather than dealing with it. And then sometimes she says that when she does speak out, that the words can often come across as abrasive or aggressive. And she talks about her throat chakra. So I think, some people it's very easy to speak out, but are we speaking out in the right vibration, or are we more reacting rather than responding? Are we being too strong? Are we in our power? Are we trying to prove something? Do we need to be right? And as and this is very interesting for Loretta to notice. Or is it easy for us to speak out unless it means something to us, and then we avoid the situation? So we might give the appearance of somebody that is very vocal, but when it's something that is bothering us, then we don't even speak out. So people could not judge us, or we would not even be able to judge ourselves. So we get the idea that we are very confident, we speak out, I speak my mind, until it's something other, and then we don't speak at all. So that seems to be what's going on with Loretta. And Barbara mentioned that she has no problem speaking out, that she probably speaks out too much. Is that what you said, Barbara? She can't speak now. I love it. Right, you miss your chance, that's it. Zip, 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 zip. All right, don't rush, Barbara. Let's just go to Trudy because she's got something definite to say about this. So Trudy, you sent me your information this morning. Thanks very much. I always love it. You will always really come up with some great stuff. So do you want to share with the group where you're at with speaking out? Unmute.
Well, I just came in from two angles. Public speaking, I was always afraid of, not finding my words, not connecting, not being respected, looking stupid, not inspiring people. Public speaking, I always had impediments, but I found when I'm committed to speaking truth to power, or for social justice, or speaking on behalf of others, I have no fear and I'm very articulate, but I have trouble speaking on my own behalf.
Isn't that interesting? Right.
I think I can also identify with what Trudy was saying. I feel that in terms of raising up issues, kind of fighting for the needs of people around me, or being able to verbalize that's a lot easier. tend to be able to sense the needs of people around me and verbalize that and meet that. And whereas when it comes to my own needs, I tend to kind of put it, kind of forget about it, not even knowing it sometimes, not even consciously suppressing it. It's just kind of sometimes like, don't even recognize that until later on that, it will have been nice if I actually fight for this thing that I want, you know. So kind of like buried a lot of the goals and not verbalizing my goals and my wants.
And I think also it's very easy, it's much easier to speak about somebody else or to sell somebody else than to sell ourselves, isn't it? Especially in the world that I live in, it's very easy. You know, people are, oh, I'd go to Jazz, she's brilliant, da 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 da. But the Jazz stand there, well, I'm brilliant, even though I do believe that I'm very good at what I do. It's very difficult, I think, for people even to listen to somebody saying how good they think they are. I think it makes them feel uncomfortable and they'll back away. They'd far rather hear it from a third person.
I agree.
Go ahead, Barbara.
I agree as well. I'm the same. I can fight for everybody. People at work come up to me and they say, you make the impossible possible. They say this kind of stuff. And I think, what are you talking about? It's just common sense. They were wrong. This is the issue. I addressed it, but it was always for everybody else. But I have a problem with, like, when I'm talking about myself, I give away the farm. I give away way too much. And they can tell I'm anxious. I'm not strong in my belief for myself. So I
all right.
need to learn.
A bit of a theme going on here. Okay. All right. So, Melanie, where are you at in this discussion? Can you unmute?
Okay. Can you? What do you mean? Where I'm in that thing? Where's my voice? What's my thing? Okay.
Yes.
Normally I don't have problems to speak, but I've got problems to speak when there are a lot of people because I am afraid of saying something wrong. I'm fighting with fears, and then I'm afraid to say something wrong. I think that's the most biggest thing, and I'm hiding. I think so. That's one more thing.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Lindsay, where are you at with this?
So I think when I signed up for this one, we'd just been doing ones about speaking your truth and things like that as well. And I think I just had a bit of a run-in with my sister-in-law on Facebook because I think the riots had just started and she was just being racist, and it got me quite annoyed. So like normally I don't engage with like social media stuff that much because it takes too much energy from me. I like think about what I'm writing and I put too much time into it. But she just pissed me off so much. I was just like
share the link,
but then
so she can hear this on video.
yeah. But then she's not talking to me now, don't worry, she'll never see this. So I think I put something about, because it made me feel really stressed, like, oh, we've had this conflict, and then I was like, my husband said, but whatever you said, did you say it, did it meet your values? And I was like, yes. And he's like, did you mean it? I was like, yes. He's like, would you say it again? Like, yes. Maybe in not quite so forceful a way. And then so for me, it's speaking out, but not caring as much about the conflict afterwards. Like, it's okay if we're not friends anymore. That's fine. I'd rather be a better friend to the people who need my help than to her.
So yeah, and this is great. So there's two things I'd like to say there. One is we are never going to please everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a survey done once, and I wish I'd written the numbers down, but we all know how popular Oprah Winfrey is. And there was only about like 50 people, and 50% of the people liked Oprah Winfrey. you know.
Yeah.
So, and there she is doing all this amazing work. And I don't like Oprah Winfrey. I think she gets on my nerves. So, you know, we can't expect everybody to like us. It's not going to happen. And I think that's one of the reasons why many people hold themselves back, because they realize that the bigger they get, the less control they've got over who hears or who's got a piece of them.
Yeah.
Because you're not able to control what they do. You're not anyway. But once you get into a bigger arena, then you totally know that there's all sorts of people saying good things about you, and probably equally just as many saying, well, God, look at the, you know, look at, her voice is too loud, or I don't agree with this, or she's wearing the wrong clothes. It's just human nature, isn't it? So I think your husband saying, you know, did that meet your values is flipping brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the second,
and that's the thing that made me feel better. It's like I would do the same again. I just didn't like the kind of conflict.
yeah,
I didn't like not being liked by her, but
right.
I'm actually fine with it now.
Yes. And this is it, you know, the first time when we start to speak our values like this, especially after a workshop or doing a session on this, is you're probably, the majority of us probably aren't going to be able to verbalize what we want to say with as much grace and ease as we would like. It might sound a bit harsh or abrasive because we're doing something different. But the main thing, and you were like, oh God, I shouldn't have said that, or maybe this or maybe that. Forget it, you know. I mean, okay, take it home, look at it. But the thing was, you did it. You know, we did it. You do it once, so the next time it's like, well, okay, I've done that. And then the grace and ease starts to come in, but you've got to get over that first time, right?
Yeah.
So what I often say to people is, if you're going to, say you're going to go into a situation that you think there could be a bit of conflict, not to put yourself in the place where you're creating the conflict or you're looking for it. But if it's somebody that you always know, well, they're always going to want me to knock the price down, or they're always going to say this, or they're always going to say that. That's what they always do. It's like, okay, so rehearse before you go what you could say, just in case you need to say it. Not to create a reality, I don't mean that at all. But if you've created it in your head, like, oh, okay, that feels okay, then if it happens, you've got that in place. So it's a lot easier to get started because you've already practiced it.
Yeah.
So, and don't, after something like this, speaking out, I always say, don't choose the biggest issues first. Go and experiment on something a bit small, or be conscious of something. It's like, right, okay, well, I'm going to give myself the opportunity to do this with that person. Okay, start small and don't go in, because this isn't about laying the law down. This isn't about being right. This is about speaking your truth. And another thing you might want to write down is, if somebody says something that you don't agree with, it's far better to say, wow, that's an interesting point of view. My interesting point of view is, ding. And they'll get it, but they can't say anything because you've already said there's an interesting point of view. It's obvious you're not going to agree with it totally, but then you say, and my interesting point of view is, and they're stuck. They've got to be open to that. So there's a nice key for you. And also, people think you're very intelligent, which of course we all are. Okay, so let's get started. So close your eyes. And I want you just to, after everything that's been said here, is to focus in your body, and where do you feel any tightness or discomfort, dis-ease. and paying particular attention to your throat chakra. And if you are not familiar with chakras, don't worry, just what's going on in your throat? What does it feel like? Your gut, your belly. What does it feel like? Where is it? It might be more than one place. And on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 is no discomfort and 10 is a lot. What's the number? Hi, Indy. Okay, Indy, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, so Indy,
Oh,
just to catch up with the others, just close your eyes.
I'm sorry.
I said to catch up with the others, everybody's already doing it, is to close your eyes and just find in your body, where do you feel uncomfortable about speaking out, speaking your truth? And particularly pay attention to the area of your throat chakra. Give a number 0 to 10. And then when you're ready, we'll start.
Is it here? Well, yeah, from the throat.
It's anywhere in your body where you feel uncomfortable about speaking out, but also to pay attention to your throat chakra, wherever you think that is. So it's everywhere in your body, anywhere in your body, and particular attention to your throat.
And besides that, I noticed that my heart was like beating more.
Yes, so then just tune into that and get a number for it, okay? And
Okay, in both, I think here is 10, but maybe here is 12.
Sorry, where is 10? Where is?
In my throat. And on my chest, maybe 12.
So throat is 10?
Yes.
And chest is what?
Maybe it's 12.
12?
Yeah, I felt like it. Yeah, too much.
12 out of 10.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, all right. So Trudy.
Yes. So my throat is 7 and my gut is 8.
Your throat is 7 and where's 8?
Gut.
Okay, great. Lindsay.
Stomach's 4, throat's 3.
Thank you. Wei Ling.
I think they're both like my stomach is maybe about 3 and my throat is maybe about 5.
Okay, great. Melanie. Melanie, are you frozen? Okay. Okay, here she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yes.
And maybe I have to change the internet connection. Okay. My is a 9. It's very close. It's just small. I feel. And yeah, that's it.
So just
So
your
I
throat.
feel my belly, but.
What does it feel like in your belly? Okay, so we'll move to Barbara.
Yeah,
Me, Barbara Stephen.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got pressure in my head and my chest. Nothing in my throat until I turn around, and it's on the left of my throat. But I have a C7 problem, and it sticks out.
Slow down. You're speaking way too fast. I have to write this
So-
down.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were just saying it for people.
There's something to think about speaking out, but slow down. Like, whoa.
Everybody tells me that. They go, you wait, because I'm already on the next thought. So my head, I've got a lot of pressure in my head and in my chest, the left part, really like it's painful, it's pressure. There's nothing in the front of my throat, but I do have a problem, persistent problem with my C7.
Okay, so what Barbara is doing, she's speaking a lot, but she's not listening. So this is for you to pay attention. I've asked you twice what the numbers are, and you just go whoosh. So you're not present to what people are saying. You're verbalizing very, very fast, too fast for most people to be able to absorb, but you're not listening to the things that the person's saying.
So, okay, so I thought about this honestly while you were talking about it. But I'd say it was an 8 for my head and an 8 for my chest and about a 7 for my neck.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, great. All right, Melanie, we got your throat at a 9, and your belly, what number?
My belly is a 4.
Okay, all right. Okay, cool. All right, so now we're going to, you all know how we play fast track. And mine is a 4. And I can feel it in my gut and I can feel it in my feet. So it's almost like I leave my body. I think I just come out of my body and become more like an upper person rather than a grounded person. Okie dokie. So let's see, where do we go? Does this group, so, no, we'll do the desired outcome at the end where we see where this is going. And I've got a new phrase today, which is just so unbelievable. All right. Does this group have resistance to change around speaking out? Yes, they do. Is it more than 80, 90, 98? Whoa, 100% resistance to change in your subconscious around speaking out. Do we need to know more? No. Is there a specific age? No. Okay, so let us release that resistance to change. And since this was Indy's suggestion, and she wrote most of the blurb for this, you can help me, Indy, to release the resistance to change, okay? And with every one of these, you are going to add to what I already say, because this is about speaking out, okay? I fast track the release.
I fast track the release
Of all resistance.
of all resistance
To change.
to change,
To speaking out.
to speaking out,
To being heard.
to being heard,
All fear of making mistakes.
all fear of making mistakes,
Fear of my own power.
fear of my own power,
Fear of promoting myself.
fear of promoting myself,
And all the ways I am protecting my voice.
and all the ways I am protecting my voice
And protecting my truth.
and protecting my truth.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself,
And I now choose.
and I now choose.
Go ahead.
I choose to be more wow, so hard. I choose to be more loyal with myself and accepting my own being
Good.
and allowing me to to speak out. um, to speak out without no fear.
Now.
Now.
Well done. Whoa. That really put her on the spot, right? All right. Well done. Okay. Did we release the resistance? Is it 0? Okay, so that's gone. Well done indeed. You spoke well.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm muscle testing who comes next. Melanie, so this is, where's Melanie gone? Okay, this is you. So let's find out what it is about you. And just so that you understand, is everything that you've spoken about in this preamble is out there. With Fast Track, you know, we're being guided by your higher self. Your higher self is consciousness or connected to consciousness, whatever way you want to see that. So everything that you've said has gone out into consciousness. So it's not important that we mention it all again. It's already out there. It's already known. So the information I'm going to get for you, Melanie, is based on what you've already expressed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Okay, so for Melanie, do we go to card number 1? No. Do we go to line number 1? Line number 2? Line number 3? The body, the heart, trauma. Is this shock? Ooh. Trauma, cellular trauma, cellular memory. Is there a specific age? Is it before the age of 10? 10 to 15, 15, 14, 13. Is this connected to people, situation? Is it school? Is it home? Okay, so what's being remembered that is in the way of you speaking out more than you already do is a situation that happened at home around about the age of 13. Does that mean anything?
Yeah.
It does. Do you want to share this or not?
Yeah, I can. Yes. No, I can share. I think it's a thing about about my mother, and she was very fault when my stepfather and she divorced, and so I'm starting to lose my voice to say anything, and I think that happened when in that age.
All right. Okay. So that is what it is. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to lead you through this,
Yeah.
and then you are going to voice. You're going to speak out what it was you say then.
Say it again. My internet connection is, please.
So I'm going to lead you through this to release that, and then you will have the opportunity at the end to speak the truth of what you wanted to say then. So everybody think about some family situation where you wanted to say something you didn't, couldn't, or even you said something and maybe you were hit back, knocked back for it. Okay, here we go. I fast-track the release
I fast-track the release
of all cellular memory
of old cellular memories
connected to that situation
connected to that situation
when I was 13
when I was 13
and I started to lose my voice.
and I started to lose my voice.
And all the ways I've remembered this
And all the ways I remember this
to keep myself safe
to keep myself safe
by not speaking my truth.
by not speaking my truth.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive everyone involved.
I forgive everyone involved.
And I now choose
and I now choose
to speak my truth
to speak my truth
from my 13-year-old self.
from my 13-year-old self.
Go ahead.
I forgive myself to be a child and don't know what to do. And I want to be wild and free without fear of somebody else that could harm me for what I say. I choose to be my own self and speak for my own self. Now,
How does that feel?
I'm getting goosebumps. It's very good.
Right, now let's just do this. I choose
I choose
to release
to release
any need to remember,
any need to remember,
to hold back
to hold back.
now.
Now,
Well done. All right. So good. If an age comes up in this session, is to remember that 13-year-old self for you. You know, she might need some more encouragement. So again, you know, you can have a bit of a dialogue with her, but or if you are struggling to speak your truth, just know that she probably needs a bit more love and attention. All right, Lindsay's next. Do we go to card number 1, line number 1? Is it emotions? Is it beliefs? Okay, there's 4 aspects to this card, Lindsay. Let's find out which one it is. Is it beliefs? No. Is it programs, responses, behavior patterns? Okay, so you don't believe it, but you're running these programs. Are they Lindsay's programs, responses, and behavior patterns? No, they're not yours. Guessing that they might come from a parent. Is it from her mother? Is it from her father? Okay, so what would that be from your mother?
Oh, God. Is there an age to narrow it down to?
Well, no, because it's something that it's the way she is,
Yeah.
and it's something that you've taken on or you're rebelling against. You know, you're either with it or you're either for it or against it. And it's her programs, responses, and behavior patterns about speaking your truth. Now, you don't believe it, but you
Yeah.
believe her programs.
She was always quite quiet and just didn't really voice her opinion, so it's probably that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the only thing that's coming to mind.
And it
She was
really
just like,
is.
yeah,
And so we tend to mimic that.
yeah.
Don't believe you
Just
have.
not causing a fuss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So should we cause a fuss?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Any way you want to change these words, Lindsay, to fit you exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I fast track the release
I fast track the release
of all programs,
of all programs,
responses,
responses,
and behavior patterns
and behavior patterns
connected to not speaking out,
connected to not speaking out,
not making a fuss,
not making a fuss,
not being heard,
not being heard,
taken on from my mother.
taken on from my mother. I release the desire to not cause a fuss, to keep the peace when this goes against my highest values. I choose to speak up, speak my truth and my values, even if it upsets other people, That's okay. Let's be done.
I choose
I choose
to be heard.
to be heard.
I allow this to be simple,
I allow this to be simple,
easy and fun,
easy and fun,
with grace, ease and flow.
with grace, ease and flow.
I do this for myself.
I do this for myself.
I do this for my mother if appropriate.
I do this for my mother if appropriate.
And I will look for the evidence of this
And I will look for the evidence of this
everywhere,
everywhere,
every day,
every day,
now.
now. That got more and more relevant every like as it went along. It was just like, oh yeah, my mum was like one of 7 kids right in the middle, and she will have just been the like just trying to get everybody to be quiet and calm down and not fight and things.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Wow. So what's cool again, just to mention, you don't have the belief that you're not worth being heard, but you're running her programs. So that's that's really key to remember that. Or you were running her programs, let's say. Okay, Trudy babes. This is throat chakra. So
Mute. Yay, I unmuted. Okay.
So throat chakra is for whatever's going to come up is going to come up for everybody, but specifically throat chakra is Trudy, Barbara, Indy, Loretta, and Lily who are not with us. If there's other people that are on this program, if they've not sent me their information, they are included, but I don't have any information about that. So this is throat chakra, and we're focusing on Trudy. Is Trudy's throat chakra blocked more than 50, 60, 50 to 55, 55, 56, 57%? Wow, that's a lot, Trudy. Is there something of significance we can release that will allow the chakra to release? Is it card number 1? Is it line number 1? Is it emotions? Is it beliefs? Okay, here we go, same card. Is it truth? No. Is it programs, responses, behavior patterns? Are these Trudy's own? Yes. Is there a specific age? No. I was waiting for that 3-year-old to come up, but she's not. She's gone. All right. Is there a specific age? Is it before 3? Is it after 3? Is it before 10? Is it between 10 and 20? 20 and 30? 20 to 25? 25? 26? Age 27, Trudy?
I have no recollection.
Is it a person? Is it an event? Is it a situation? It's a situation that you were involved in and you spoke out and the reaction you got back was not what you wanted, kind of. I don't know if somebody yelled at you or you were in some kind of argument. Where's she gone?
I'm here. I'm just writing, so I had to put my phone down.
So it's age 27. Who do you think that might be with?
Well, I was working in Bangladesh and I was head of a sub office.
Okay.
But I felt that people listened to me, so I can't even imagine.
Okay. So it's a behavior pattern that stopped your throat chakra and people did listen to you.
They didn't listen.
They did. They did listen.
Oh. So then what's the problem?
I don't know. I wasn't.
I have no clue. I'm trying to, okay, 27. I was 25 in 1982. I was, oh. Well, it's funny because I was engaged to someone and then I ran away from I didn't speak out. I just left and went to Bangladesh. I started having a nervous breakdown.
Nothing happened to me when I was 27. I don't remember.
Well, I guess that was about that time. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that your throat chakra shut down at that. You chose not to speak out, and we're just going to. I'm going to lead you in, Trudy, and you probably forgive yourself for
Okay.
you know, and I'm going to
Boy,
bring.
I was.
I'm going to bring in the heart, and I'm going to bring in your physical body, and I'm going to bring in conflict.
Oh my goodness.
So
Okay. Well, I got it.
think about.
Okay. Wait a minute. Yeah.
Think about something that you didn't say, something you wanted to say and you didn't say, or you lied about. Oh, that's a big one for me. Okay, all right.
Okay.
I fast track the release
I fast track the release
of all blockages
of all blockages
in my throat chakra,
in my throat chakra,
going back to the age of 27,
going back to the age of 27,
connected to that situation
connected to that situation
when I didn't speak my truth
when I didn't speak my truth
and I ran away.
and I ran away.
I forgive. Oh, no. Okay. I release all conflict
I release all conflict
remembered in my body,
remembered in my body,
and I now choose.
and I now choose.
Go ahead, Trudy.
I now choose to forgive myself for not listening to my intuition, for being afraid to take a different path from the expectation, because this guy was supposedly perfect for me, and I thought something was wrong with me. And I understand why, but I release all of the beliefs about myself and my culture that may have prompted me to behave that way. And I will speak forevermore my truth in order to tap into my highest good and my highest desire. Now,
I choose
I choose
to release all fear
to release all fear
of making mistakes,
of making mistakes,
getting it wrong,
getting it wrong,
and anything else
and anything else
connected to my voice.
connected to my voice. Are you finished? Oh, that was really good. I forgot about that.
And that's the thing you forget, but your subconscious doesn't. Remembers.
I was a rebel without a cause.
So now you're a rebel with a cause. Is that right, Trudy?
Yeah, well, I'm still a rebel without a cause. I'm searching for the cause. Okay, thank you. That was really good.
Yeah, it's brilliant, huh?
Yeah, good.
Okay, Wei Ling. Okay. So just check in with
Yeah.
yourselves, everybody. You know, you've got your numbers. So Wei Ling, just check in. Your stomach felt like a 3 and your throat felt like a 5. Has there been any change in that?
I think my stomach feels quite okay. It's like maybe 1 or 0, and my throat is still about a 5. Yeah, I can relate to quite a few of
Yeah.
you know, what's been happening
Okay.
with the rest of the story. Yeah.
So you say that your throat feels like a 5.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
well, that's done up because you said it was a 3.
Yeah, it was a 3, but it's actually quite comfortable, my stomach.
No,
Just a little. Sorry.
you said that you said that. Oh, your stomach is a 0. Okay, and your throat.
1, maybe a 1. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Sorry. Okay, right. Going back to front. Okie dokie.
Mm-hmm.
So for Wei Ling, do we go to card number 1, line number 1, line number 2? Family, birth and womb, inherited, inherited 1, inherited 2. So it's your friends, the archetypes again, Wei Ling. All right, let's find out which one. It might be more than one. Is it the saboteur? No. Interesting. Is it the victim? No. Is it the prostitute? Is it the child? Does the prostitute have an age? Okay, is before she was 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 20 to 25, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 30 exactly, 31. So age 30. So the prostitute programming is about undervaluing yourself or allowing yourself to be undervalued. Does anything ring any bells about age 30?
Yeah, what happened was I was working for quite a while, and I was kind of burnout, and I left my work. I didn't kind of like really speak up for what I really need. I did take some sabbatical for a while, and then when I went back, there was also a relationship happening at the time. Yeah, but also there's a lot of things. There was also the way I communicated with my office, my boss. He was also leaving that time, so maybe that's why. And also the way I communicated in my new relationship that time. I think I didn't kind of speak out about my needs. It was kind of like really dragging for a while, and then also I wanted to make a purchase at time for a house, and I didn't push for that. I didn't speak out that need that I really want to do it, and I could have made a lot of money if I did. So there was like 3 things happening at the time.
Wow,
Yeah.
significant, huh? Okay,
Yeah.
we need to know more. Okay, so so this is about the prostitute. So you didn't speak up. You weren't valuing yourself, valuing your needs, right? You were just letting everybody else. You were fitting in.
Yeah, I was fitting in again. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So everybody think about how you do that. And I'll tell you what I do, and I noticed this about myself, is if it's a natural reaction for me, I say natural, it's not natural, but it feels natural, is when somebody says, Jazz, can you do this? Or Jazz, I'd like to speak to you. I jump to attention. I'm like, yeah, right, when? You know, I don't think of saying, well, you know, I'm busy. If I'm busy today, I'm busy today. But I never think, do I want to do that? It's just like, yes, okay. If somebody expects something of me. So for instance, think about when you do this, if you do this, is I made a presentation to a group in England on Saturday. It was the most sensational presentation I've ever made, according to everybody else. They just loved it to bits, and the chats were just going on saying how amazing it was. And the organizer then yesterday morning she said, oh, blah, 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 you know, I'd like to speak to you about this, Jazz. And I immediately said, when? Right? And we set a time, and guess what? She cancelled. She said, oh, I want a day to myself. What I wanted was a day to myself because I'd been gearing up for this presentation for at least a week, probably more like 2. And when it was over, what I really wanted was just not to think about anything. But she said, oh, I'd like to talk to you about, and I'm like, oh, okay, when? And then she goes, and I've got it on my schedule, and then she cancels. So if that's not a lesson, it's not listening, and not speaking up for what I want and what I deserve, and making myself the important person, because in that situation, I was the important person, but I let somebody else be more important than me. Who else does that?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, let's make a vow to each other, a vow to ourselves is before we say, yep, when, or jump, how high, we're not respecting ourselves, are we? We're respecting the other person's, and we don't even know why. Well, for instance, I didn't even know why she wanted to talk to me, really. It just involved somebody else. But we are not valuing, I was not valuing myself. I was not giving myself the day off, which I really deserved. And so I'm not allowing her to value me either. All right, let's release this. Did you want to say something, Melanie?
I just want to ask, but how can you respect in that situation yourself better? I don't know, because I always think when something like that happens, I want to do something for that person, but I don't know how to get out. So you understand?
They know.
Yeah.
So, you know, she said, what, you know, I'd like to speak to you today. And I said, okay, what time? So I just dumped myself right in it. And I could have said, yeah, great. Love to talk to you, Sarah. Can we do it on Monday?
Be active and yeah.
Yeah, great. Love to talk to you about this. Very interested to know what you got to say. I'm having a day off for myself. She told me she was having a day off when she cancelled on me half an hour before we were supposed to talk.
Mm.
So, you know, she was valuing what she wanted. I don't appreciate the way she did it. She was very polite, very nice. But she put herself first. And guess what? Why did she put herself first? Because I did a fast track session for her where she released a situation around being dismissed. And she is totally flying. So I facilitated that, but I am not honoring myself what I can do for myself.
Can I interject here? This is a problem I've been working at for a long time, because working in spiritual groups, if everybody puts themselves first, then there's no meeting of the minds on times or places. Like, so how do you compromise in order to be part of a group or part of an obligation to somebody else, and still be true to your own? Like, I don't feel like it today, but you have a commitment to your group. I still have trouble with this. So all the spiritual people say, oh, I don't feel like it, or you know, they're not there for you, and you're always there for them. So I don't get it.
Okay, but that's exactly it, Trudy, isn't it? You know, is you're not valuing what is good for you. I mean, sometimes I will ask myself, it's like, well, I don't really want to do that, but actually this would really make sense for me. So I'm going to step up and do it, but I'm doing it for myself, right? I'm not doing it for the other person. I'm being in integrity with what I want. And that's the main thing. And again, it's about speaking out. And what do you want? So, for instance, I belong to a coaching group, a very small coaching group, and it's very expensive, and the calls are scheduled. And if I can't go, that's my problem. Do I always want to go? No. So I have to look at the whole situation. The whole group can't change because Jazz is tired. Okay, but I can
Yes.
the coaching call and say, hey, I'm not really fully functioning today, so you might have to carry me a little bit. So I'm speaking my truth, but I'm still showing up because I've chosen to show up for myself.
Right. Okay.
And I think that's it. It's not about being absolutely cut and dry. It's about giving ourselves time to evaluate what do we want from this, and then verbalizing that. And I think when we don't want to do something, what's a really great thing is to give that other person a choice and say, well, I'm really, like yesterday I could have said, oh, sorry, I'm really tired today, and I just fancy having a day out. How about we could do it on Monday or Tuesday? What would work better for you? And give them a choice.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I've just found that it's been frustrating. People all come at different times because they have their needs, and I feel there has to be some kind of cohesiveness with the commitment.
Maybe that's for you to create the cohesiveness or to bring that up so you can have what you want. Not everybody is meeting their needs. They could be just being bloody lazy, or
Exactly.
so not everybody's coming from truth. But if you come from truth, then you will meet truth.
Oh, okay. I like that. Yes.
Right.
That's very good.
All right. Okay, let's meet some truth. This is the way, Lee.
Yeah. Okay.
I fast track release
I fast track to release
of all prostitute programming
of all prostitute programming
connected to not speaking up,
connected to not speaking up,
voicing my needs,
voicing my needs,
and undervaluing myself,
and undervaluing myself.
connected to those three issues,
Connected to those three issues,
going back to the age of 30.
going back to the age of 30.
Carry on.
I forgive myself for not being able to speak up at the time. I forgive everyone involved around my life at the time.
I want you to say it like you really mean it. What you're doing, you're saying it like you're pushing it off to one side. Get your energy behind it, all right?
Okay, so I release the anger at everyone that was involved in my life at the time. I release my resentments. I let go of that fear of repeating the situations again. I embraced love, unconditional love for myself, and I allow myself to be loved by those around me. I accept that they would want the best for me as well, and I accept that I have a lot to give if I were to be truly aligned and speak up my truth, speak up my wants, and speak up my needs. I would like to be truly kind of happy with doing that, and without any forced, by just going as well with the flow of the situations, but yet maintaining a good perspective about what's really beneficial for me in the long run, and to be able to voice out all of my needs, wants, desire, my goals, my passions, and being fair to myself in all of the situations, in all my relationships. Thank you. Now.
Woo!
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you, Jess. That was wonderful. Thank you. I mean, I felt that it was really important for me to release this. It's been on my mind sometimes, unconsciously too.
And for me,
Thank you.
I know you. I don't know Wei Bing as a friend, but she's been in my groups a lot. Is I know she holds back. She doesn't speak her truth. So this is absolute. I'm not saying she doesn't share what's really going on very deeply. And this is the first time she's actually really, really done it.
Mhm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Exactly.
you. Thank you, everyone.
All right. So we've got Barbara. Okie dokie. All right. So let's find out what's going on for Barbara. Is it card number 1, line number 1, line number 2? Family, birth and womb, inherited, karmic, outer resonance. Interesting. Outer resonance 1, outer resonance 2. There's 2 ways this can go. Let's find out. Is it around separation? No. Is it an emotion? Is the emotion Barbara's? No. Is it, oh, this is so interesting. Is it no more? Wow. Okay. All right. So everybody,
So can I ask,
pardon?
what does outer resonance mean? What does that mean? The outer resonance?
Don't worry about that. What this is everybody in these groups is very, very sensitive, some more than others, but we're all very sensitive beings. We all feel what other people feel, and sometimes how they feel is what we think is our feelings, or we take stuff on, until we learn differently. So one of the reasons you speak so quickly, Barbara, is because you are sensing the fear from other people's fear.
Whoa, that's so weird. Because okay, you make me want to cry. I can't cry because I've had a lot of insights over the last, I don't know, maybe month, tons. Like it's like, I guess I can say this. I've been having some difficulty at work, and there's some bullying going on, et cetera, et cetera. And there was an incident that happened, and one of my acupuncturists said, "You realize every job you've been to, you've been bullied at." So this time, I've decided that I'm not here anymore. I'm not taking it anymore. This will be the end. I'm cutting off the pattern, or whatever you want to call it. Sorry, I've completely forgotten what I was going to say, but I do feel other people's stuff way too much. And sorry. Anyway, so there was this voice that came to me, and it's hard to navigate sometimes the workforce because you don't know who you can trust and who not. And I'm not, I know in my gut certain people, you feel good around certain people, but I got this voice saying, do not trust the people you think you can trust, you can't. And the people that you think you can trust, you can't. People who think you can't trust, you can. I thought, this is rubbish. Like, this doesn't make any sense. But sure enough, just recently, it all kind of came out to play, and I've seen it, and I'm like, whoa. But for the first time, I didn't jump. Like, I'm not reactive. I'm not like, whatever. And I could see the games they're playing, and I just stood back and I said, oh, that's nice. And I was quite proud of myself that I was calm and not like overly reactive. And anyways, but that's kind of it. That's where I am. So it's
really great, and I think for all of us is that we get a sense of people and how they're responding to us. And I don't care how intuitive we all are, I bet half the time we get it wrong.
yeah, you could seriously, I would have laid money on the people that I could have trusted, but anyways.
Oh, they don't like me, or they're blah, 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 or in a webinar like this, I will interpret people's faces. I'm looking at everybody, oh gosh, they're bored, da 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 da. We are, it's like, if we would be more focused, more within ourselves, and do things for ourselves, then we would not be as affected by other people's energy. So it's my belief that the whole planet is run on fear, and fear keeps us away from love. And so what you are tuning into is the fear of the people that are out there, some of which you will misinterpret, Barbara, but it's become a way of being. And I think that's why you're so anxious to get everything out, get it finished, and then come back.
These particular people have been spreading rumors and lies about me. And I honestly, you're bang on. I've been dealing with, oh my God, I've been like, my guts were right about certain things happening. I can sense when people are moving or whatever, and when things are going on. But I have to say, I let them affect me. Like, honestly, I had to take 7 days off because I was so affected by it before I went on a holiday. And I literally was crying every single day. And then this was clearly last year, but here we are. So, and you're right. I actually realized this girl, I'm playing off of her, and she's fear-based, and I'm reacting. So thank you. Exactly. So
let's see
what
what
I'm rambling.
and again, you know, this is to start to protect yourself. I'm not a big one about protecting myself because I tend to be protected anyway, and I don't take on people's stuff. But I do feel other people's emotions. I tune into them, and I make decisions on what that means, which will affect me in the moment. I don't take it home with me, but I do misinterpret. Somebody could be looking very concentrated, and I'll think, oh, they're not happy, or something like this, right? Is if we were more centered, more focused on what's going on for us, then that stuff is not going to come in. Let's do this.
Right.
I fast track the release
I fast track the release
of all attachment
of all attachment
to other people's emotions,
to other people's emotions,
fear,
fear,
their opinions,
their opinions,
and anything else
and anything else
that I'm tuning into
that I'm tuning into
that no longer serves me.
that no longer serves me.
I forgive myself
I forgive myself
for doing this to me,
for doing this to me,
and I now choose
and I now choose
to gather all parts of myself
to gather all parts of myself
back into my body
back into my body
and to ground myself
and to ground myself
in my innate wisdom and knowing.
in my innate wisdom and knowing,
And to act in alignment
and to act in alignment
with my true values,
with my true values,
integrity,
integrity,
and voice.
and voice.
It is time
It is time
for me to let go
for me to let go
of what other people think
of what other people think
now.
now. That's good. Thank you.
Good work today, ladies. All right, last but not least, here we've got Indy. All her fault.
Okay, I am.
All right. Okay.
Yep.
And I think, you know, also is a big thank you to Indy because English is not her first language. And she practically wrote the blurb for this webinar. She wrote to me, she told me what she wanted, X, Y, and Z, and I virtually just pulled it, cut and pasted it, did a bit of grammar, and that's what you're reading. And I think that's extraordinary for somebody who does not have English as a first language.
Thank you, Jess.
All right, so for Indy, do we go to card number 1, line number 1, line number 2? Family, birth and womb, inherited, karmic, outer resonance 1, outer resonance 2. So same card as Barbara. Is it an emotion? Yeah. Is it fear? Is it sadness, sorrow, confusion? Oh, God. It's overwhelm. Is it her overwhelm? Wow, this is amazing. This is beautiful. This is the emotion of overwhelm. And what happens is and I'll call it insecurity with yourself. I don't know that that's the right word, but your indecisiveness, lack of confidence, whatever, and we've all got it, Indy, whatever it is it connects with the overwhelm of everybody else out there or the people that you're speaking with. And that makes you hold back, to withdraw. So
Okay.
overwhelm creates confusion, it creates panic. It's like, and people aren't grounded. They're not in their bodies. And so when you want to speak, what you're tuning into is their energy of all of that. And you probably judge yourself as feeling that, but it's just connecting to your insecurity. Does that make sense?
I overwhelm all the time for many situations. So nothing new. Thank you.
Well, this is really great. So when you can identify overwhelm, then you can start to release it. Okay, but this is your overwhelm is acting as a magnet to the overwhelm of other people. So it's like you'll be on high alert, your antennas up there looking for overwhelm out there because you don't want it, but where your focus is what you bring into you. So you're connecting to other people's overwhelm, and it increases your own, which stops you from speaking more freely.
Yes, it makes sense. Yeah, sure. It is.
Okay, so I don't know how you're going to handle that, but I'm going to think about it. And if I think about something, I think, it's important is to protect yourself. So maybe next time we will start we could actually do it today, actually. Let's do it today. I'll show you how to protect yourself and ground yourself. But if you don't do it, then it can't work. So just wanting to be grounded isn't going to work. You need to put some physical action behind it. But we'll do that in a minute. Here we go. I fast track the release
I fast track the release
of all separation
of all separation
from my true self,
of my true self,
connected to speaking out,
connecting to speaking out,
and my connection
into my connection
to overwhelm
to overwhelm
mine and everyone else's.
mine and everyone else's.
I forgive myself,
I forgive myself,
and I now choose
and I now choose
to gather all parts of myself
together all parts of myself
back into my body
back into my body
and to ground myself
and to ground myself
into my own vibration,
into my own vibration. Is that okay? Into my own vibration,
my knowing,
my knowing,
my intuition,
my intuition,
and my sense of self.
and my sense of self.
I release all overwhelm
I release all overwhelm
from every cell of my body,
from every cell of my body,
and I replace it with,
and I replace it with,
what do you want to replace it with, Indy?
I replace it with trustful, with with more confidence, and I put it in a lot of um, of transformation, because I know that it's part of me. So I need to put in more accepting, sure, and more and well, not more, and less and less worries maybe, and just mm, just to put more, how do you say, um I don't know, loyalty, serenity, yeah, serenity in now.
Brilliant. All right. Okay. Brilliant. All right. So we're getting close to time. So I want to do the reprogramming, but I also want to show you how you can ground yourself. And when you're grounded and protected, if you get used to doing this, then you're not going to be as affected by what's going on outside of you. So give me 3 words of how you would like to feel rather than resistance to speaking out. You know, what qualities do you want for yourself? 3 or 4 qualities.
Calmness.
Calm.
Courage.
Yeah, like that.
I like the word serenity, what Indira said.
Trust.
I like trust too.
What about confident?
Confidence, definitely.
Yeah, confident.
Confidence is like, you know, and I think integrity,
Yeah,
either integrity or authenticity.
the genuine or whichever. Yeah.
I'm going to put integrity. Now you can change these at the end. Calm, courage, confident, and integrity. Okay, any way you want to change that. So let's do that now, because I know that Lindsay has to rush off to work. And it's going to be a little bit different than before. And a bit faster, actually. I say cross your right foot over your left at the ankles. And your right hand over your left. Bring your pyramid down around you. Ground it in 8 places around the base. Recognizing that this is your sacred space. And bringing in the light of your higher self to do a clearing of anything else that's remaining. Bring into the space any specific age of yourself, if it was mentioned, or any specific situation or event that you're remembering that you believe is in the way of you speaking out with integrity, with peace, calm, meeting your full values. Create that picture in your conscious mind of speaking from a place of inner confidence, integrity, courage, and calm. See how your posture changes. You stand taller. You're grounded. Your voice is coming from a deeper place. It is strong. It is confident. It is aligned with your full value, and other people's opinions inspire you to be more of who you are. Recognizing this picture, whatever you bring into that, whether it's certain situations, people, just know that this is going to become new subconscious programming. And to support this, I want you to say these words. Today,
Today,
I expand my capacity.
I command my capacity. I command my capacity.
Today, I expand my capacity to embody confidence, calm, courage, and integrity. And I will look for the evidence of this everywhere, every day. Today, I expand my capacity to embody calm and courage and integrity in every part of my body. And I will look for evidence of this everywhere, every day. Now. Cross over the opposite way. So left foot over right and right hand over left. Today, I expand my capacity Okay, can you all put yourself on mute because this is too distracting. Okay, all right. Today, I expand my capacity to integrate and upgrade, speaking out with calm confidence, courage, and integrity. And I will look for the evidence of this everywhere, every day. It is safe for me to be heard now. Today, I expand my capacity to embody speaking out, calm, courageous, confident, with integrity, more than before. And I will look for the evidence of this everywhere, every day, inside and out, now. It is safe for me to be heard, and other people's opinions of me are not my business. Now. Uncross your hands and your feet, bring your thumbs to the third eye. Today, I expand my capacity to embody all aspects of speaking out. I am calm and confident, courageous and integrity, meeting my own values, and speaking my truth. And anything that does not support that, I command it to light. Now, hold that for about 10 seconds. And when it feels like it's settled, let go. All right, so I'm going to go quickly into, Lindsay, if you have to go, I'm going to do the recording, keep the recording going, and I'm going to do the grounding technique so you can catch up later.
Yeah, I will do. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Jazz. Bye-bye.
All right, stand up. This is the sway test. Many of you might already know it. But what I'm going to do is show you how to use this to ground yourself and be more in flow with yourself. Okay, so your feet are pointing forward, your knees are relaxed, arms down by your side. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to speak the truth. Now, most people will sway forward for a yes and back for a no, but not everybody is the same. So we need to find out where your yes is. So just say out loud what your name is. My name is. So my name is Jazz, and you can see my body moves forward. So say, my name is. Okay, is everybody moving forward? Right, great. Okay, so now choose a name of the opposite sex and say, my name is Martin. And your body probably goes back. Okay, what happened to you, Indy? Did you go back? Okay, great. All right, so you all know that you move forward for yes, back for no. All right. So now what you do is you make a decision. What do you want to connect to? Do you want to connect to God, your higher self, universal energy, whatever that is? So you decide what you want to connect with, and then you give the command, connect. Now, if your body goes backwards, it doesn't mean to say you got it wrong. It just means you're not connected. So you keep saying connect as a command until your body moves forward. Okay, let's do it together. Connect. 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 All right. Okay, is everybody moved forward? Okay, great. All right. So now take your attention to your feet and you give the command ground. 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 So you need to be grounded. You need to sway forward 3 times and then you know you're grounded. Okay. The next command is just go to where your center is. You might want to put your hand there and give the command center. 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 All right. The next one is to gather all parts of yourself back. And so you imagine like the rays of the sun, but coming back in. Gather. This is difficult for me. Gather. 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 All right. Probably all gathered. Next one is to unify, and that means bringing everything back into one place. Unify. Unify. Brilliant. Unify. The last one, and this is what's very important, but it's not going to happen really without you doing the other ones, and this is to protect. So just imagine, see or feel your pyramid coming down around you and lock under your feet, and you give the command protect. 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 And you're done. Okay. Bye, Trudy. Good night. Sleep well.
What if you couldn't get one? I couldn't get center.
You know, that just is showing you that you're not centered, so you keep issuing it as a command until it kicks in, and it will kick in.
Okay, because I got everything else but that. Thank you.
So it's very, very interesting because sometimes I can't get centered and it's just saying you're not centered. You're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay. So you just keep doing it as a command and then you'll get it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Melanie.
I just got a question because I didn't understand every word. Maybe you can write the first and second. Some, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Thank you.
Okay. Did you enjoy
But
it?
it was cool. Sorry. I just. Totally. I felt it. I felt the energy. I felt it in my back. I felt it. It was great. That's why I asked you to write down. I want to use that. It's very cool.
Sway test is the first step into accessing information from your subconscious. Indy, how are you feeling?
I feel more relaxed and more grounded. Yeah, and for sure it's well, as I told you, it's really grateful, and I feel, yeah, because I still feel, I feel honorable, because you put like all the words I did, and I was surprised. And I am happy as well, yeah, to do this, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And you know, you can use this grounding protocol. It's good to do it first thing in the morning, last thing at night. You stand in it, just do it. You know, it takes a minute, and do it before a big meeting, especially for you, Wei Ling, or you're working with a client. Do it before you meet the client. You know, and it just puts you in the zone, and your body gets used to doing it. But you know, for me, like gathered, sometimes I'm all over the place. You know, I'm out there. And it's, you know, gathered, and it's like, and then eventually it kicks in. So it puts you in charge of how you feel, and then you're less sensitive to other people's energy. It's cool. How do you feel, Wei Ling?
Oh, I like it very much because I remember doing this a long time ago, but just kind of allowing myself the grounding commands that you were talking about. I felt so grounded. I was so rooted. It was really nice. I felt like I'm a tree, you know, and then later on we talk about the centering, the unifying, gathering, protecting, and I really like all of those words. I think it's really useful.
Yeah, thanks. This is
I
brilliant.
feel really good. Yeah.
So I will send you that grounding protocol, and you just practice using the sway test. It's brilliant. And drink lots and lots of water. Oh, and just a couple of words, that the new phrase that I gave you, the way I'm doing this phrase, I'm doing it for myself, is I am expanding what I think is what's happening in this new era, the new era, whatever we're in, is what we were taught was to go inside, right? To go inside. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm like, no, I want to be bigger. I want my energy to come from inside, and I want it to come into every cell of my body first and then go out. So this is why I talk about expanding my capacity to embody the qualities that we talked about. I don't want them out there. I want them in here where they're mine, and then they can emanate out as a bigger vibration of who Jazz is. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's brilliant. So I've been doing that for myself for about a week, and it also feels to me that when we emanate this stuff out, it's burning up that negative stuff that's out there that affects us, or it's not letting it in because our energy is going out there. I've been a big one for bringing stuff in.
Yeah.
Bringing stuff in. Let's. Anybody like to share anything before we stop?
Funny that you say that about that. people always used to say to ground myself and picture a bubble around me, and like, you know, like Teflon, things fall off, and it never worked for me. I don't know, I always felt claustrophobic. So they finally said, you know what, you're not good at grounding, like what you said. I always envisioned light coming out for me to push the stuff away, and people were like, no, that's not right. But it's funny that you say that, because that's how I feel more comfortable.
And doing that from a place of being grounded is what we need to be doing. So we're not giving this, we need to be grounded in it, and then it goes out. Otherwise, you know, if we're not grounded, you know, it's coming from a place that isn't stable.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Good work. Good work, everybody. Once again, Indy, thank you. I'm doing a muscle testing workshop at Chiang Mai Holistic on Saturday afternoon, teaching 3 different ways of muscle testing, one of which is the sway test, but showing you how to work with supplements and blah, 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 blah. So if anybody's in Chiang Mai, you can get to that. It is a brilliant tool. It's super cheap, and I just do it because I like doing it. All right, anybody got any questions?
No.
All right. Okay, so send me your suggestions. We'll have 2 more of these next month. So if there's anything specific, suggestions you've got that will be good for the group, let me have it. As you can see, this is a great one from Indy. And I would rather do what you want rather than what I think you want, right? Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Cindy. This was awesome. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.
Everybody know what happens to you all.
Yeah. Interesting. Have a good week, everybody.
See you.
Be safe. Cheers.
Melanie, I'm happy that you went.